Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back. Boy, still hot, still no rain. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's getting pretty bad around here. But anyway, today's subject on this video is about the third function hydraulics and being able to adjust the flow, coming up to your front implement that you may have on here that maybe is operating too fast. You want to change it, change that flow going up front. So but let me just say, what I'm going to show you in the video, I'm not suggesting you guys do it or whatever. Do your research, do it at your own risk. Don't want to be cause of anybody doing something on their third function hydraulics and causing an issue or whatever. But I did do a little bit of homework before I did this, and tried to cover all the bases. But there again, not suggesting anyone try it. Do your own research. But anyway, so you might have noticed a few videos back I added this pallet fork grapple, of course, which runs off the third function hydraulics. And I really like this. It's actually come in quite handy so far. Got more use out of it than I thought I would. But you might have noticed in that video I did on it, if you saw that, it operated almost too fast. I've got some previous video. I'll show you the clips here in a second that where it just almost slams down real fast, and especially on the way back up, it was just really fast, and just faster than it needed to be. Now this third function, it's a WR long kit. I'll show it to you a little closer in a second. But when you hit the button, the electronic operated button on the joystick, that operates a solenoid, and that just opens and you get full flow. So I thought maybe there was a way on the third function valve to adjust it, but I haven't really dug into that real deep. I did look online to see if I could find anything about that, and I don't think there is. But if anybody knows if that's the case, let me know. But I really didn't want to bother the third function valve itself, because even if there was a way to adjust it, then when I go back and put my grapple on here, which has 2 cylinders, which the third function and the speed of my 2-cylinder grapple is fine, it's perfect. It's just that with the single cylinder here, it's just twice as fast as it needs to be. So even if I could slow it down at the third function valve, I don't know that I want to do that, because then every time I change out implements, I gotta fiddle with that valve to get it right. So in my mind, it's better to put something at the device, at the implement, on the hoses, just beyond where the quick connects are on the third function, to be able to adjust the flow. So anyway, I did some research. I was thinking about a needle valve to start with, so you can run that needle valve in or out to change the flow. And then I ran across, actually, I saw another video a gentleman did on a tractor online, which is third function, and they make a restrictor fitting, a couple different sizes, but in my case I needed a 1/2 inch male to female, and then it just has a small hole. It restricts that flow. So I'll show you. I've already got it installed, and then I'll show you how it works, and that did the trick. As far as I can tell, that's no negative to that. The one thing I did read, if you were restricting that flow on something that's a constant flow, then it could cause the fluid to heat up. So I don't know that you'd want to put it on anything that where you had constant flow or whatever, or using it tremendously. It might cause your fluid to heat up. But this is not something I use a tremendous amount, and even when I do use it, it's just going and grabbing something here or there, closing down on it, opening it up. It's not like I'm using it over and over all day or for several hours or anything. So let me get the camera in close here. We'll look at the third function valve, and then I'll show you where I installed this restrictor. Okay, so right here is the dealer installed third function valve, and as I said, you can see the logo right there. That's a WR long kit, and there's the wiring that goes into that. So this piece right here is actually the third function. All this part right here. There's a couple of Allen screws there that almost look like you could screw them in or out to change the flow, but I don't know if that's the case. And there again, I really don't want to mess with that, and you know, then cause a leak, and then that's something, as I said, you would, even if it did adjust it, then something you would have to change each time you changed implements on the front. So I really didn't want to mess with that. So, but as I said, when you hit that button on this one, it is a rocker switch. See if you can see that right there. It's a rocker switch. So of course when you hit that, you know, it sends power to a solenoid here. So it opens up, and then, you know, you get the flow through here, and you know, down the hoses and to your connections up front for your third function. So what I ended up doing, I got this fitting at Tractor Supply, and okay, right here it is. Fell down on the ground. So right there, it's a county line, and what is that? Part number 1256783. I think it was $9, $8.99. So it's a 1/2-inch male pipe to a 1/2-inch female, and it doesn't say on here what the size of the opening is, you know, as far as the restrictor part. But I almost thought when I bought it, I'm like, this is not big enough. It was small, but anyway, it seems to have worked out fine. But as you can see right there, we put this in the supply line feeding the cylinder. This fitting right here is the restrictor fitting. So there's the male that screws into the coupler, and then there's the female that screws into the next fitting that goes down to the hose. So as I say, that thing has a very small, if I had to give you a visual on it, heck, it don't look much bigger than a ballpoint pen head. But anyway, that seems to do the trick. And see, that way when I unhook the disconnects, it stays on this piece of equipment. So I don't, you know, when I go back and use my grapple or whatever, you know, I don't need it there, so I don't have to change anything out or whatever. So I think it works out well to keep it on the piece that you need that fitting for. And one thing that I think would be really neat, and there may be some third function kits that come with this, or you know, maybe third function kits that have adjustable flows on them. But you know, you're going to get full flow here, but you know, a lot of that depends on the flow of your hydraulic pump on your tractor. You know, this tractor I believe is about 11 GPM, but you know, there's different size pumps, different tractors, different flows I'm sure on the third function valves. But either way, it would be cool in my mind, and let me know if you think this is a feasible idea, is right here maybe just before the you know, quick coupler here for the third function, if there was one of those needle valves. I've seen the ones, they have like a 0 to 10 dial on them, so you could, you know, of course, you know, you're not going to be able, if you got that thing wide open, you know, or like it was before I installed this, you're not going to be able to increase your flow, because, you know, you got a lot of, you know, heck, they might as well call these hydraulic tractors now. You got so many hydraulics on these things nowadays, you know, the transmission, the steering, you know, not to count for all the other hydraulics on the front and the back. But, you know, and so an application like I've done here, we're only going to be talking about something to slow the flow down if you're, you know, operating an implement that it's operating too quick or too jerky. You saw how this thing, you know, was herky-jerky in the video to begin with. But anyway, I think it would be cool if there was, you know, with the kit, there was a valve right here that would allow you to dial it up or down. And but anyway, just a thought. I know a lot of the newer tractors now, the bigger ag tractors, and I've seen this on excavators as well, the newer ones. You can actually dial that flow up and down from the operator station on the cab, you know, through through the keypad or electronics. Some of the newer ones you can dial the flow up or down. So anyway, just a thought. I'll show some video now of how it worked previous to putting this. As I say, it was real fast and really jerky. And then once I put this in, it slowed things down to where I think it's very acceptable. see when it gets back, it kind of slams. So I don't know. I just think it could be made a little smoother if it was slowed down a little bit. I think that did the trick. It's probably half the speed it was originally. Here, make sure we don't have any leaks. But yeah, I think looks like everything's okay. I think that'll get it exactly where I want it. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope we get some rain soon, and if you get a second, hit that subscribe and like and share button. And I'll catch you next time around. Thanks.